Hi, and thanks for clicking on the video. Today I'm going to show you how I built this paper tuning rig using some cheap bits and pieces from the local hardware store. Now I'm sure you can all agree it doesn't matter whether you're a barebow shooter, a recurve shooter, a compound shooter, paper tuning is an important part of what we do to make sure our gear is set up correctly. So sit back, relax, have a watch, and hopefully this will show you how you can build one for yourself.
Now the first step in any sort of project is usually to come up with some sort of plan, and there are many different designs floating around the internet as far as paper tuning rigs are concerned, but the reason I decided to design mine the way that I did is because it's modular for one, so you can break it down and take it with you if you need to do some shooting away from home. The parts are also cheap and they're easy to get, so the rest of you guys, if you wanted to build one for yourself, shouldn't have any trouble doing so. Now you'll see on the piece of paper here that I decided to go for a very basic shape as far as the rig is concerned, and you got your 2 feet at the bottom and then a basic A shape. Now here I'm busy working out the joiners that I'm going to use as far as putting this thing together is concerned, and also just letting you know that this is all done with 20mm PVC pipe and fittings. T-pieces, you can see I need 4, 90-degree elbows, we'll get away with using 2, and then end caps for the feet, I need 4, and the lengths I can buy in 1 meter lengths from our local hardware store, and I'm pretty sure I ended up using 6 of those. So there's the 4 T-pieces, the 2 90-degree elbows, the 4 end caps, and the 6 meters of PVC pipe that I'm going to use to get this job done. So the first step, I thought I'd work from the ground up, is to make the feet. And what I did was I basically took this single 1 meter piece and divided it in half. Now, one of the cool things about PVC pipe is that if you're careful, you can cut it with basic woodworking equipment. And here you can see, taking it nice and slowly, with a drop saw, I get the cut quite neat and tidy. Now each of these halves I'll divide in half again because they're going to go into 2 ends of the T-pieces at the bottom of the frame. So the key with cutting that PVC with the woodworking tool is obviously to take it nice and slowly. So here you can see the end caps are going on the feet, 1 end cap per length that we've just cut, and then the other end of those lengths go into the T-piece, and that basically is the feet complete. So the next step then is to work on the legs. Now I just took the 1 meter pieces and I put them in there to see how high it was going to end up in relation to me as the shooter, and I think I'm pretty happy with how high that 1 meter is, and I'm just going to leave those pieces uncut, and you can see the next set of T pieces are going on. So the next step then is to work out how wide we're going to make the whole frame. So one of the things to consider there is the length of the roll of paper that you're going to use as well. So the paper that I have is about just under 500 millimeters wide. So if I cut one of these 1 meter length pieces directly in half and use that as the horizontal piece, it should work out pretty well. So again, same sort of thing, it just sort of press fits in there, and I think that's going to work quite well. Now the next part is to work out how high I want the top of this to be. This is pretty important because you want to be making sure that you've got enough room or enough paper to get a good few arrows through it. So you want it to be at a reasonable height. You can see there as I stand and as if I was shooting, I sort of work out that that mark that I made is about where it needs to be. So for me, that turned out to be 230 millimeters cut off of the ends of those two uprights to give me the top of my frame. And then obviously you've got the leftover piece from the first horizontal bit that we cut and the two 90-degree elbows. They go at the top, and we're pretty much done as far as the build is concerned. So here basically you can see the clamps that I'm planning to use to hold the paper onto the frame, and that's my roll of paper there as well. Some butcher's paper from the hardware store. Now these small clamps that I selected fit the 20mm pipe pretty well, and the middle of the paper tube actually fits on there quite well as well. And then basically you just pull the paper up, put it over the top, clamp it, and you're pretty much good to go.
So that's it for today. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like or a comment below. Remember to click the subscribe button if you've not already done so, and hit the little notification bell to be notified each time I upload a new video. I hope you all have a great week, and remember, just do good shots.